Good day, this is my laboratory 5 examining the flags on microprocessor, microcontroller system and design. So on the first activity, we are asked to write and assemble a program to add the following data and then use the simulator to examine CH and Z flags after the execution of each addition. So first is to store data. Starting from R16, we are going to store R16 with 92, R17 with 23, R18 with 66, R19 with 87, and R20 with F5. So next is we are going to add R17 to R16. We can see that R16 becomes B5 and S and N flag is equals to 1 while H, Z, and C flag is equals to 0. Next is R18 to R16. C flag is equals to 1 while H and Z flag is still equals to 0. R19 to R16. So H flag is equals to 1 as well as S and N flag where and Z and C flag is equals to 0. So R20 to R16. C flag is equals to 1 as well as S and N flag while H and Z flag is equals to 0. Next is activity 2 where we are asked to write and assemble the following program. Use the simulator to single step and examine the flags and register content after the execution of each instruction. So this is the program that is given on our activity. First is to store R20 with 27, store R21 with 15. Next is to subtract R20 to R21. So R20 becomes 12 and nothing changes in the flags. Next is store R20 with 20, R21 with 15. Then subtract R20 with R21. We can see that R20 becomes 0B and each flag is equals to 1. Next is store R24 with 95 and R25 with 95 where 95 is also equals to 0x 5f. Then subtract R24 with R25 where R24 becomes 0 and Z flag is equals to 1 where Z flag is also 0 flag. Next is store R22 with 50, R23 with 70. So this is R22 and R23. Next is to subtract R22 with R23. So we can see that H, S, N, and C flag is equals to 1. Next activity 3. In activity 3, we are going to write and assemble a program to load a value into each location of R20 to R23. Use the COM instruction to complement the value of each register, then examine the flags and register content after the execution of each instructions. So this is the program that is given. So first is to store R20 with 0. Next is R21 with FF, R22 with 1, 1, R23 with 2, 2. So next is the complement. Complement R20. R20 becomes FF and SN and C flag is equals to 1. Complement R21. Z and C flag is equals to 1 where R21 is equals to 0. R22 becomes EE where SN and C flag is equals to 1 and R23 with DD where SN and C flag is also equals to 1. So next is activity 4. Activity 4A. In activity 4A, find the value of the C flag after the execution of the following codes. So In this part, we are going to run the program given, then R20 store R20 with 85, R21 with 92. Then add R20 and R21. So we can see the C flag becomes equals to 1 as well as S and V flag. Next is activity 4B. So activity 4B is similar to activity 4A. First is store 15 to R16, 72 to R17, then add R16 to R17. So R16 becomes 87. V and N flag is equals to 1, while the C flag is equals to 0. Next is activity 4C. So run it. So first is store R25 with F5, R26 with 52, then add R25 and R26. So R26 becomes 47. C1, C flag is equals to 1. Then the last one is activity 4D, which is also similar to activity 4A, B, and C. So first is to store R25 with FE, R25, then increase or increment R25 by 1, where FE becomes FF, and increment ulit with where R25 becomes 0, and the Z flag is equals to 1, and the C flag is equals to 0. Yun lang to. Thank you.